Coming to the drawbacks of assembly language based development. See, we have three drawbacks here. First one is high development time. Second one is developer dependency, and third one is non-portable. See, this high development time means to write a program in the assembly language. First thing that you need to know is the architecture. Then you need to know the memory organization. Then the register details of the processor that you are going to use. Along with that, you should be well versed with all the instructions. So learning all this will go for taking a long amount of time. So it will go for creating a delay impact in the product development. But one solution for this is you can go for hiring a readily available developer who is already well versed with the target processor and the architecture and assembly instructions. So you can go for hiring the person who will go for writing the code for you. And one more thing here you need to know is whatever the program we go for writing in high level like C, that code will be compact. See, for a same instruction, I need to write some 4 to 5 instructions in order to generate the same instruction with respect to the language C. So the code becomes lengthier here. I may be needing 3 to 4 instructions in order to do the same in the assembly. In order to do the same instruction that can be done by a single statement using the C language. Next one is developer dependency. See what program the developer is writing. If he doesn't do the commenting or how it is actually your assembly language programming, they'll be usually lengthy. As they're lengthy, sometimes it may be like tiresome for the developer to write comments with respect to all the instructions that he's used in his program. And sometimes if this documentation is not done properly, if somebody else wants to go for using the same code, he'll not be able to, not using, if you want to make a go for upgrading the same code, he may not be able to understand it if it is not documented properly. Because see, in assembly language, for example, if I want to get the data that is stored in the memory to the register accumulator, we have different instructions there. By direct addressing you can get it, by indirect addressing you can go for getting it. So it depends upon the developer what kind he is choosing and what for he is choosing. So the one who is written, and if somebody else wants to go for upgrading it, it becomes very tedious. Fine. So well documentation of the assembly code is a must. Then only it will go for reducing the developer dependency. Apart from that, what is happening here is code will be actually lengthy only. As the code becomes too large and complex, the one who has written the code, he may not go for writing the comments there. He or she may not go for writing the comments. So documenting all the lines, it may not be very productive also. Documenting the comments with respect to all the lines, it may not be so very productive also. Coming to the non-portability. See, if I write a code for 8086 target processor, can I go for porting it to the ARM processor? It is not possible. So whatever the target processor we are using, your code will be applicable only with respect to that particular processor. We cannot go for porting it. That is the major drawback with respect to the assembly language programming. And because of this, it makes the assembly language applications, though they are good, as it is not portable, it cannot be used by others. Coming to high level language based development. Why we go for high level language based development? Already you know that the assembly language programming is highly time consuming, it is tedious, and it will go for requiring a skilled programmers with the sound knowledge of the target processor architecture, and also the applications developed by the assembly language are non-portable. So we go for making use of the high level languages. So in order to make use of the high level language for an embedded product, what we actually need here is a cross compiler. First thing is we'll write the program, source program with respect to either C or C++ or Java. There, depending upon what we are writing, if you are writing with C, then it will have the extension .c. If you are writing with C++, it will have the extension .cpp, so on. So it will be written in a text editor like Notepad or WordPad from Microsoft, or a text editor for writing the programs. So once this is done, what is happening here is you need to make use of the cross compiler. Cross compiler will go for converting the source file to the object file. After object file creation, everything is same as we have studied before. Once the object file is created, you have the linker or locator which will go for joining the object file with respect to the library files. Then at this stage the file is relocatable. So once the link, it's the responsibility of the linker to go for giving the correct address. Then we'll have this absolute object file being created. Once it is created, then you go for making use of the object to hex file converter. Then you will be getting the machine code. Coming to the advantages of high level language based development, we have three major advantages: reduced development time, developer independency, and portability. See, the development time is highly reduced here. Why highly reduced here is a developer need not know the complete architecture, all the he need not know the instructions and all. What he needs to know is the basic understanding of the architecture and the memory, and also some of the registers. Only thing he needs to know is the syntax of the high level language he is going to write. So first thing is he should know the syntax of the high level language, and he should go for learning minimal hardware details. With the high level language, whatever programming you are writing, there your statements, one statement you can go for writing. With respect to that, in the assembly language, I'll be having either 3 or 4 instructions. With a single statement, I can go for with single statement can go for replacing 3 or 4 lines of the assembly language. So what we can say here is with high level language, each task can be done by lesser number of lines of code compared to the target processor or controller specific assembly language programming. Fine. First main thing is the developer need not know complete internal hardware details and the architecture of the target processor or the controller. He can have the little bare minimum knowledge with respect to the memory organization and the register details. That's it. And if he knows the complete syntax of the high level language that is writing in, then he can go for developing the firmware. With this, what is happening? There is a drastic reduction in the development time. Coming to the next one, that is developer independency. See, high level languages, whatever the syntax that is learned by the high level language learner in India will be same as that in the any other country. If, for example, if I am learning a C syntax will remain the same throughout the universe. So the syntax will remain same there. That is the main advantage. It becomes universal. Apart from that, these high level languages, they'll go for giving certain instructions with respect to the how the code has to be written and how you need to go for commenting it. It's like minimum practice. Everybody who is writing a code, they go for writing the commenting, and actually the developer will usually go for adhering to these rules whenever. So that time when that is happening, it's very easy to understand the statements that are written in a C. So what is happening here is we can say that developer independency is 100% here. Developer independency is 100%. That is, if I have written a program in C, for any other person who knows the C language, it is very easy to understand the program. He can go for again upgrading the program if he wants, but understandability becomes very easy with little comments being written there. Coming to the third one, portability. See, what your machine understands is the zeros and ones, that is machine codes. So whatever high level language program you are writing, that is getting converted into the target processor or controller understandable format, that is machine code by the cross compiler. Fine. And any application written in high level language with respect to a particular processor, it can be easily converted into another processor specific application. How means we can go for making a changes with respect to a code, not complete code in the header file. We can go for having a new header files with respect to the next processor that we are going to use, and some of the register definitions could be changing there. Only those adoptions you need to do. Then you can go for recompiling the code again. So with respect to the required target processor, so that it will be after recompiling, it can be run with respect to the new target processor. Fine. So what we can say here is we have a high portability with respect to the program that is written in a high level language. So this will make the application or the program written in the high level language highly portable. Only thing you need to do changes here is you need to replace the existing code with respect to the target processor specific header files, and register definitions could be changed. Then recompiling has to be done. Coming to the limitations. See, in limitations, cross compilers, whatever we have for high level language, they may not be very efficient in generating the optimal code with respect to the target processor specific instructions. See, when I am writing a code in assembly language, there for each job to be done, I have the instruction. This instruction gets converted into the machine code. Here, the length, though the length of high level program could be very less, but when it is getting through the cross compiler, when it is getting converted and you have the code generated as a machine code, the area that it occupies in the memory will be more. So apart from that, what we can say here is the speed of operation will be less compared to the actual assembly language written programs. Programs that are written in a high level language, once they are cross compiled and they become the machine codes, then the area they occupy in the memory will be definitely more with respect to the assembly language written programs. Assembly language written programs may look very lengthy there, and the high level language programs could be very short, but the area it goes for occupying in the memory will be definitely high for a high level language, and it will go for taking more amount of time compared to the program that will be written in the assembly language. Again, these days we do have the good cross compilers, but again when you need to have an application wherein time is very critical, they usually opt for having a program written in a assembly language. See, the C language, when you are using the C language and its with its extension, in order for the programming with respect to the embedded system, we are calling it as a embedded C programming. See, this C programming, what we can say here is, it is structured, well-defined and standardized general purpose programming language, and it has got lot many bit manipulations. You can go for doing the bit manipulations here. With respect to C language, it has got the features of high level language and assembly, and it will go for helping in hardware access programming. Hardware access programming means the programming with respect to the system level. And also we can do the programming with respect to the business package development, that is application developments like payroll systems, banking applications and all. Then the C language, it will go for following a ANSI standard, and it uses the library files for different operating systems. Here, depending on the operating system, we have a compiler. The operating system is nothing but a platform. So, depending on what platform or what operating system you are using, you have a compiler, and this compiler will go for converting the programs written in C to the target processor. Target processor means depending on it's here the OS, the target processor is nothing but with respect to the OS it is running, which OS it's running on. With respect to that, it will go for generating the binary files. So what we can say here is it is OS dependent. C is OS dependent, or we can say it's a platform specific development. Coming to embedded C. Embedded C, we can consider it as a subset of conventional C language. This embedded C, it will go for supporting all C instructions, and also it will have a few target processor specific functions as well or instructions. What we can say here is we do have the standard ANSI C library, and it is tailored with respect to the target processor or controller library which in the embedded C. And implementation of the target processor or controller specific functions or instructions will depend upon the processor or controller, and it has to be supported by the cross compiler for that particular processor. Fine, it has to be supported by the cross compiler. And a software program, this cross compiler is nothing but a software program which is used for converting the embedded C program to a machine language. Coming to the compiler. Compiler, what we can say here is with the compiler, it's a software, it will go for converting the source code to the machine code. It will go for converting the source code for the target with the source code to the machine code. Machine code will be with respect to the target processor. Specifically, we can say compiler, it's a software tool that will convert source code written in high level language with respect to a particular operating system and running on a specific target processor architecture. Here, the operating system, the compiler program, and the application making use of the source code, they run on the same target processor. The source code is getting converted to the target processor specific machine instructions. Here the development the development is platform specific, that is OS as well as the target processor on which the OS is running. Compilers, we can call them as native compilers also. Native compiler will go for generating machine code for the same machine or the same processor on which it is running. Coming to the cross compilers. See, cross compilers, they are the again software tools only which are used in cross platform development applications. In cross platform development, the compiler running on a particular target processor or OS converts the source code to a machine code for a target processor whose architecture and instruction set is different from the processor on which the compiler is running, or for an operating system which is different from the current development environment OS. See, embedded system development, it's a typical example with respect to the cross compiler, cross platform development. Here, the embedded firmware is developed on a machine with Intel, or it could be anything, or any other target processor, and the same will be converted into a machine code for any other target processor or architecture. It could be PIC microcontroller, ARM 8051. One example here is for 8051 we have Keil C51. It's a cross compiler which is used with respect to the embedded firmware, which is making use of embedded C, and the target processor is a 8051.